Thank you very much for remaining with us. You're such a wonderful viewer. My name is Anthony, and this is the final segment for financial markets. Now, let's look at the summary of trading here. But before we do that, I always want to just peer into other, stocks that were not active, but are also trading on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Remember, the exchange has over 18 listed companies. That is 8 domestically listed and 10 cross-listed from Nairobi. And we're talking about companies like British American Tobacco Uganda at 15,000 shillings. Their ticker symbol is BATU or BATU on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Bank of Baroda is another company on the Uganda Securities Exchange at 85 shillings. And then you have Centum Investments at 288.56. Well, these are opening prices, at least for today. And the market's already open and almost closing at 1 p.m. But I'll read out these for your own information as well. Cipla Quality Chemical Industries Limited is trading at 70 shillings. DFCU Bank is trading at 547. And then you have East African Breweries Limited at 4,851.63 shillings. And you have Equity Bank Limited at 1,541.11 shillings. And then Jubilee Holdings Limited at 7,768.95 Ugandan shillings. And then you have Kenya Airways at 121.45 shillings. And then KCB Group at 1,364.09. And MTN Uganda is trading at 185 shillings, whereas National Insurance Corporation is trading at 5.8 shillings, and Nation Media Group at 597.73. The New Vision Printing and Publishing Company is trading at 155, and Stanbic Bank Uganda at 21. Uganda Clays Limited 17 shillings and 200 shillings at Umeme, and Jubilee Holdings Limited at 7,768.95 Ugandan shillings. Those are some. Those are all we have on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And at the end of the first weekday, yesterday, at the Uganda Securities Exchange, a total of over 143,300 shares were traded, corresponding to a market value of 6,065,900 shillings. Compared with the previous day of trading on the Uganda Securities Exchange, there was a 36% decline in the volume. That's the number of shares that were traded, and 84% decline in the turnover as well. The current market capitalization for the exchange, however, is 22.2 trillion Ugandan shillings. And that winds up the business we had on the Uganda Securities Exchange. The information is courtesy of the Uganda Securities Exchange. There you can visit their website for more on how you can get enrolled, on how you can get to buy shares, and what their work is like at the exchange at www.use.ug.org. Let's now move very swiftly to Nairobi Securities Exchange, our neighbors here. Well, Nairobi Securities Exchange is the principal stock exchange for Kenya, and the largest exchange as well in East Africa, trading over 65 equities, a couple of derivatives, and a couple of treasury bonds and treasury bills. Their market is definitely very active, much more active than we have here in Uganda. But recently in 2014, during their initial public offer, the company demutualized and got listed on its own exchange. And right now they are listed on their exchange as well. To give an example to other companies as well, In 2008, in order to improve and provide investors with comprehensive measures of the performance of the market, the Nairobi Securities Exchange launched the NSE, or the Nairobi Securities Exchange All Share Index. And this is a market capitalization weighted index with the best value of 100 as of January 2008, comprising of all the 65 listed equities, and as well as other securities as well. Effectively, it is the benchmark index of the Kenyan stock market. In 2011 as well, there was, together with the FTSE, or the Financial Times Securities Exchange International, the NSE introduced the FTSE NSE Kenya 15 and the FTSE NSE Kenya 25 indices that were created to track the performance of funds and derivative products, and as benchmark and performance benchmarks while ensuring their investability. The NSE 25 and the NSE 20 track the performance of the top 25 and the top 20 companies on Nairobi Stock Exchange. Now, yesterday, the companies that participated in trading were over about 47. From the 44 companies yesterday, there was an increase of the number of companies participating in the trade here on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And the day ended with 12 gainers and about 25 losers on the stock market. And Kenya Power and Lighting Company returned to the limelight by leading the gainers after a 10% price appreciation. Kenya Power and Lighting Company there gained by 10%, closing the day with a price of 1.76%. Umeme, which is also cross-listed from Uganda, also did very well yesterday after gaining by 9.72% in their price valuation, closing the day with a price of 7.9 Kenyan shillings on the stock market there. And then you had Car and General Kenya also gained by 7.77% to a price of 43.7 Kenyan shillings, whereas Sasini Tea and Sanlam Kenya gained by 7.34% to a price of 11.7 Kenyan shillings, and Kakuzi Group gained at 7.07% to a price of 394. Whereas when you look at Centum Investments Company, gained at 5.27% to a price of 9.58%. On the losing side, on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Sasini Tea and Coffee Company came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 4.74%, closing the markets with a price of 22.1 Kenyan shillings. Whereas Nation Media Group came in as a second last loser at 4.24% after losing to 18.05 Kenyan shillings. Unga Company unfortunately lost also after last week's gain, and several other weeks we have seen Unga come up. Right now it's on the losing side after losing 3.23% to close the day with a price of 30.04. Home Africa also lost by Home Africa Company lost by 2.7% to a price of 0.36 Kenyan shillings. Whereas Safaricom also had a 2.7% loss to 3.6 Kenyan shillings, and TCL lost about 2.54% to 1.15 Kenyan shillings. When you look at the volumes, the top mover was Safaricom, after having recorded at least 13.2 million traded shares, followed by Kenya Power and Lighting Company at exactly 9.37 million shares that were transacted yesterday. And then KCB Group also transacted 3.57 million shares, and Equity Group Holdings transacted about 3.56 million traded shares. Let's look at Kenya Power and Lighting Company, who came out on top here in details a little bit. Kenya Power and Lighting Company Limited is engaged in the transmission, distribution, and the retail of electricity purchased in bulk from Kenya Electricity Generating Company Limited, that is KenGen. There's also Independent Power Products, as well as Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited, and Tanzania Electric Supply Company as well. Now, the company operates in 4 regions. That is the Nairobi region, as well as the Coast, West Kenya, and Mount Kenya region. Its interconnected network is of transmission and distribution. Her lines covers about 47,000 kilometers. And the grid, the national grid is operated as an integrated network linked by a 220 kilowatts and 132 kilowatts transmission network. It's listed on the NSE, the Nairobi Securities Exchange, as with the ticker symbol KPLC. That's standing for Kenya Power and Lighting Company, and currently is the 30th most valuable stock on the NSE, with a market capitalization of over 3.43 billion Kenyan shillings, which is about 0.158% of the entire NSE. The gain there was a 0.16 Kenyan shillings gain to a price of 1.7. The day's low was 1.65 shillings, and the day's high was 1.76. And the traded volume, they had over 9.37 million shares that were transacted in over 140 deals, leading to a gross turnover of about 16.5 million shares. The earnings per share currently at the company are 0.76, while the price to earning ratio is 2.32, and their shares outstanding are currently 1.95 billion shares, and the market capitalization is 3.43 billion. Well, things look really good on the Kenya Power and Lighting Company since after their closing price of 1.76 on their first day of trading this week on the 12th of September. That was yesterday, after recording a 10% gain from about 1.6 to 1.76. The company, however, began the year with a price of 1.75 and has since then gained a 0.57% on their price valuation, ranking them the 29th in terms of year-to-date performance. So for year-to-date performance, it's a tick for Kenya Power and Lighting Company. As if that is not enough, shareholders should be highly optimistic of the company, because it has still accrued about 17% over the past 4 weeks, which is the 5th best on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We are talking about Kenya Power and Lighting Company. Now, Kenya Power and Lighting Company, very interestingly, is also the 3rd most traded stock on the Nairobi Securities Exchange within the last 3 months. That is dating back from the 14th of June to the 12th of September. And within this period, the company has traded a total volume of about 70.8 million shares that are currently valued at over 9.37 million Kenyan shillings. about an average of about 1.12 million traded shares per session was also achieved. And you're seeing that the lowest they have had is about 51,100 shares. That was on August the 26th. But overall, the company is very tradable. The company has very good monthly performance, the third best, matter of fact. It's still on the positive side in terms of year-to-date performance. And everything looks really good. On the one-week basis, they have gained 15.8%. On a daily basis, like we have seen, they gained 10%. And on a 4-week basis, they have gained 17.3%. 3-month basis, they have gained still 21.4%. Whereas on the 6-month basis, they have gained 9.32%. And on the 1-year basis, they have gained 3.53%. So meaning if you're looking to invest in Kenya, this is one of the companies you shouldn't skip. And it has a very affordable stock, just over 1.76 Kenyan shillings. You can be able to afford yourself a stock in Kenya Power and Lighting Company. Remember, this is very, very possible with some stockbrokers here, or you can contact some stockbrokers back in Kenya as well to help you with this. You don't have to travel to Kenya really to be able to buy yourself shares in such a company. So get started on your investment in Kenya with Kenya Power and Lighting Company. Let's take a little look at Wumeme on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Wumeme Limited is a Ugandan-based company, of course, here in Uganda, engaged in the distribution and sale of electricity. And the company's operation include operating and maintaining an electricity network, meter reading, billing, revenue collection, and installing new connections in Uganda. The company is listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol UMME. And currently, they are the 18th most valuable stock on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, with a total market capitalization of over 12.8 billion Kenyan shillings. And that's about 0.589% of the entire Nairobi Securities Exchange. Yesterday, they gained about 0.7 Kenyan shillings on their stock price, closing the day with a price of 7.9 Kenyan shillings. That was a 9.72% daily gain there. In terms of year-to-date performance, they began the year with a price of 6.74 Kenyan shillings and have since gained over 17.2%, which is the 10th best on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. They are the 19th most traded stock on the Nairobi Securities Exchange over the past 3 months as well. That is Wumeme for you, doing very well there on Nairobi Stock Exchange as well. I want to wind up the show here with, of course, giving you some tips on investment. You must be willing as an investor to part with some money for some time. Be patient, because these are risky ventures. You don't expect to gain tomorrow after investing today. You must be willing to put in the work and the research that you need to get yourself started. I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. My name is Anthony. Bye for now.